All right, guys. So Sean Hannity, he gave some very interesting remarks when speaking with Rick Santorum regarding Rick Santorum's firing from CNN. And obviously, Rick Santorum is making his rounds, trying to defend himself after his comments about Native Americans that, in my opinion, like I said, it's not something that I would have said, but Rick Santorum says that he misspoke and he apologized for it. But, CNN can in many ways because that's just the culture that we live in. And Sean Hannity made some remarks regarding CNN firing Rick Santorum that are very interesting to me. And that's a little shocking, but not too surprising considering that Sean Hannity works in the media.
Native Americans, I said Native Americans didn't affect American culture. And I meant the American founding. That's what we were talking about. The whole speech was on the founding.
Well, no. What you said is, you're right. You said they have had a huge impact. These are your words.
Right.
Particularly in the West and many other areas of our country where they have had a huge impact on American culture. The opposite of what they were claiming you said, and you said you misspoke. Yeah. And I misspoke in this respect. You apologized for it. And now it raises the question in my mind about this is now the society we live in. I don't believe in boycott, Senator. I never supported one. I never will. I don't want Bill Maher fired. As a matter of fact, I defended him, didn't want him fired from ABC at the time. And when Joy Reid was in trouble, I was called by an NBC executive, said, your public comments played a big role in us being able to keep her, meaning her job. She wrote me a nice note. I didn't call. I said, people could make mistakes and move on, but not anymore. Now it's, if you say something, you can't even revise and extend your remarks, apologize, explain in more detail what you meant. Nobody wants to hear it. And I'm sick of it, to be honest.
All right, guys. I'm sick of it too. I'm right there with Sean Hannity, and I 100% agree with him on this. Now, let's talk about his comments about Joy Reid and how he basically saved Joy Reid from getting fired. Now, apparently, back in like 2007, Joy Reid made some comments and posted a Photoshop image of John McCain, depicting him as the shooter in the Virginia Tech mass shooting, which honestly is really messed up if you think about it. And she also wrote a post promoting a conspiracy about 9/11. And Sean Hannity says he spoke out and defended her and that she should keep her job. Apparently that played a big role in her keeping her job. And I really respect Sean Hannity for doing that. And I guess there's two ways you can look at this. The first way, which is, I guess, the more nefarious way, is that, Sean Hannity wants people like Joy Reid to keep her job because Joy Reid says crazy things that people like Sean Hannity can react to. And I think that's definitely a small part of it, okay? Again, I'm not going to lie to you. It's part of the reason why, I want Don Lemon and Joy Reid and Chris Cuomo and all the left-wing people to keep their jobs because they say crazy stuff that I can react to, okay? I mean, it's just a part of doing this line of work, okay? The back and forth debate. And then there's also the angle of them being in the media, okay? And Sean Hannity, obviously having his show, he's going to make comments that people aren't necessarily going to like. And every time somebody doesn't like your comments and they call for you to be fired, that doesn't mean that you should be fired, even if you say things that are fringe, okay? And like I said, I would tend to think that Sean Hannity realizes that the pendulum always swings the other way. And that's something I try to tell you guys about a lot when it comes to cancel culture, when it comes to the race conversation, when it comes to all this stuff. When I think about these conversations, I always think about them from the perspective of, okay, what happens if this swings the other way? Okay, and what's happening right now, guys, is that, the right is mainly a victim of cancel culture, but the left also suffers from cancel culture as well. I mean, we've heard a ton of comedians come out and talk about how they're not even comfortable telling certain jokes. because people are going to get offended. And in my opinion, that is ruined comedy. Okay. And I, love the fact that Hannity has defended his counterparts when it comes to the things that they have said, right? Even if he doesn't necessarily agree with them, even if they are fringe, right? And, to me, Sean Hannity has always been one of the people on Fox News that's an OG in my opinion, right? Him and Bill Riley are two people that I watched a lot back in the day, okay? Like Sean Hannity is probably my second favorite after Tucker Carlson. I really respect him a lot for what he does. And this is something that we need to see more of. We need to see more of people in the media, whether it's mainstream media, right or left, standing up for each other when it comes to our counterparts being canceled for the things that they say, right, and losing their jobs. Because it is sad that we live in a society now, guys, where an apology is not enough. Sometimes, you're going to get on camera, especially when you're doing things live, you're going to get emotional, you're going to say things that you regret. And none of us are perfect. We all flawed, and we all fall short of the glory of God. That's just how it is. We're human beings. We're not perfect. And in the internet age, everything that you post on the internet is permanent, right? For the most part, it's permanent. It doesn't go away. And people don't care about context. They don't care about, the situation. They don't care about any of that stuff. They just want you to be fired if you say anything that they find that's controversial or that offends somebody. And, somebody that's been a victim of that, recently is Steven Crowder. Okay. And, the troubles that he's been facing in regards to censorship. And you see so many people on the left always talking about, well, he shouldn't have said what he said. And, he's a bigot and he deserves to be canceled. He deserves to be deplatformed because of things he said. And I'm like, okay, even if you don't like the things that he says, eventually at some point, right, if you're fringe enough, and there's a lot of fringe people on the left, okay, if you're fringe enough, that is going to come for you. Right now, they're being canceled because of money, right? Because corporations have become woke. But as time evolves, guys, the corporations aren't going to stay woke. They're going to go wherever the money is going to go. And in my opinion, I think, again, the woke mob is going to go too far. And I think that society is going to push back against that. And once you see that happens, I think you're going to see corporations go back to not necessarily being as woke as they used to be. Okay? And when that happens, guess who now is going to be on the chopping block? Those on the left that are the extremists. They're going to be on the chopping block. And, again, me personally, I wouldn't want to see those people canceled. I wouldn't want to see those people fired. I don't want to see those people losing their jobs just because they state their opinion. Okay? If you really believe in free speech, that includes you believe in speech that you don't necessarily agree with. And people should be able to say those things. And I have a lot of respect for people who come out and defend the speech of those that they don't like. And we don't see enough of that, right? Like, and that's part of the reason why, when I talk about people like Lori Lightfoot, when she comes out and says racist comments, yes, I think that, the Democrats should say something about it. I think they should acknowledge it, but I don't ask for her to be fired. Okay. Maybe she should be fired because, she's doing a bad job as being mayor of Chicago. That's a legitimate reason for firing. But her, giving those comments that she said, that's, in my opinion, not a legitimate reason for her to be fired. Okay, because she said that. I care more about your actions, right? Who knows? I mean, maybe somebody like Chris Cuomo deserves to be fired because of, his role in trying to defend his brother. But outside of that, anything that he has said or anything that somebody else on CNN has said, I'm not sitting here calling for them to be fired or to lose their jobs because I disagree with what they say. Okay? Because I know that, for me personally, being on the conservative end of things, it's something that I'm subject to every single day. Okay? In regards to the things that I say and my opinions. And and like Sean Hannity said, I am kind of sick of it. And I'm sick of it really on both sides, to be quite honest with you. I'm sick of people calling for each other to be deplatformed. I'm sick of people, talking about people should be fired. And, I think it happens more on the left in terms of how they go after people on the right and then right on the left. But it does happen on both sides to a certain extent. And, Sean Hannity is one of those people that, is smart enough to understand that the pendulum swings the other way. I mean, it also could be that, the people in the media, to a certain extent, they're all elite, right? If you work at a corporation like Fox News, I don't care what your political opinions are, you are part of the elite circle. And the elites are going to protect each other to a certain extent. So this could also be a part of kind of what it is. I think it's a little bit of everything, but I think more than anything, it is Sean Hannity, realizing that, hey, you know what? This is something that can turn back on me. Let me defend her and defend her right to say the things that she wants to say, because, on his platform, he probably wants to say the things that he wants to say, and he doesn't want to be fired for it. So, kudos to Sean Hannity for defending people like Bill Maher and defending people like Joy Reid. And, I would like to see more of that. I think that mainstream media, alternative media, I think the best way to fight cancel culture is for everybody to realize that cancel culture will eventually eat everybody, right? It will eat everybody outside of the mainstream. And even if you're in the mainstream, if you say something fringe, it will eat you as well. And here's the thing. In order to get people to watch your show, right, a lot of these people do depend on saying things that are French. Even if they're in the mainstream media, they depend on riling people up and taking advantage of people's emotions, right? And when you depend on that, you're going to have to say some things that are French, right? So, like I said, kudos to Hannity for this. I did not know that he did this at all. It just kind of shows you the type of person that he is. And that he is principled on a lot of this stuff. And I really do wish that people would stop calling for other people's jobs just for the things that they say. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.